Ribadu joins us from the north, and it's a very nuanced, very civilized sort of tonality. So he'll bring a very reasoned and a very dispassionate narrative to it. Let's document this. Ribadu, are you there? Ribadu.
Yeah, hello.
Now, wow, Ribadu, our fight don't finish.
And it's good to be here.
It's been too long, Ribadu. What happened?
Yeah, I tell you now, I was very busy going in and out, up and down. You know how it was. So it's good to be here once again. It's been long, and my hello to everyone in the platform. It's good to be with you guys.
All right. So, Ribadu, will document your thoughts on the broader Nigerian political narrative, but the hot button topic ticket, the hot button topic, which is the incident in Edo State and what is coming out of the north. But before we take your thoughts on that, let me play you 2 clips to prefix your submission. So this one you will understand.
Tura ta kai bango na rantse da Allah ba za mu yarda da irin wannan cin mutuncin da ake mana ba. Billahi allazi la ilaha illa huwa. Abin da aka yi mana a Edo State ba za mu yafi wannan abin ba wallahi Allah. Mu za ku ci amana. Tura ta kai bango na rantse da Allah ba za mu yarda da irin wannan cin mutuncin da ake mana ba. Billahi allazi la ilaha illa huwa. Abin da aka yi mana a Edo State ba za mu yafi wannan abin ba wallahi Allah. Mu za ku ci amana. Tura ta kai bango na rantse da Allah ba za mu yarda da irin wannan cin mutuncin da ake mana ba. Billahi allazi la ilaha illa huwa. Abin da aka yi mana a Edo State ba za mu yafi wannan abin ba wallahi Allah. Mu za ku ci amana. Tura ta kai bango na rantse da Allah ba za mu yarda da irin wannan cin mutuncin da ake mana ba. Billahi allazi la ilaha illa huwa. Abin da aka yi mana a Edo State ba za mu yafi wannan abin ba wallahi Allah. Mu za ku ci amana. Tura ta kai bango.
All right, I don't understand outside language, but that sounds to me like the drum beats of war. So give us commentaries on that. And then secondly, I want you to give us your perspective on this nuanced submission being submitted by the elder statesman, Tanko Yatasao. What's this?
Today, the number of people in Yorubas that are skeptical in Yoruba-speaking areas, that I'm trying to say, are more skeptical of an Igbo presidency than anybody from the north. Why? Because northerners are not competitors to the Igbos, but the Yorubas are. What is the stake in Nigeria? The education and capital. We don't have the capital in the north. We don't have enough educated people. We will have one day, I know. There will be a time when we will surpass the south. The time is coming, but it's not now. It's not there yet. So there is no serious competition between the north and the south, except the unfortunate ill feeling of the civil war. Well, my suggestion is this: that one, I'll direct it to our Igbo compatriots, that they should go out, seek understanding with fellow Nigerians. Tell them that, in fairness, they should be supported to produce the next president. But don't let them issue threats. Threat wouldn't work when you are looking for something like this, because threat doesn't get you votes. This thing is a matter of casting vote. When somebody goes into booth to cast his vote, it will be he and his God alone. So win his heart. Don't try to antagonize him. If you antagonize him, he will not vote for you. And he has not committed any sin or offense. So persuade, this is the reason why political parties campaign. It's just to persuade people. Election is a matter of persuasion. I will just send this message to my Igbo compatriots. I have a lot of them who are my friends, but unfortunately a lot of them have gone. but I still have some, even though they are not my age mates. Let them moderate their method of appeal for votes, but it will pay them better if they use better language in trying to win votes from Nigerians. We are all better off in Nigeria. Like I said before, any village you go, you see the presence of Igbo. If you don't see him physically, you will see electricity bulbs bought from the Igbo. You will see spare parts bought from the Igbo, and so many other things. So even where Igbos have not been able to produce a president in Nigeria, they dominate economic life of Nigeria. When you dominate a market of 200 million people, you better be counting on them in your calculation. You stay in Nigeria as your country. Nobody can drive you out. You sell your wares anywhere you like. You wouldn't have that if there is no Nigeria. Igbos and Hausas are the people who go out of their original habitat, but the Yorubas don't. We are not like them. So I'm advising the younger men, you see, we are finished, but the younger men, the tomorrow is for you. Don't destroy your future. Don't let some of our cantankerous people who are inciting you to leave Nigeria. Don't leave. Don't do that. It's not for your own good. Thank you very much.
Well, so that it's pardon me, Ribadu, Floyd's yours. Either that or whatever interests you.
Well, it's okay. Let me start by responding to the first video clip. I think that clip that they were talking in Hausa language is a community or a group of hunters, because I think that the incident that happened in Edo State happened with members of the hunters community. Even though up to now I don't even know the reason, I just saw it was so brutal for me to watch the video that much. So I think they were saying this is a betrayal, because I think they have long relationship or understanding, or they used to go there for hunting for years. So they felt like they have been betrayed by the community there for what happened to their members or something like that. That was what the video was saying. And secondly, this I think we have talked of this topic that the old man was saying for long, signifying.
Sorry, everybody. Before you go on to the old man, I'll stay a little bit longer on that Edo State incident. What is your take of it? So I think there's a universal condemnation of these innocent people being put upon in that manner. But as people condemn it, there's some people that are also of the view that this is somewhat of a payback to the endless atrocities of herdsmen in the bushes. Do you understand the complexity of how people are interacting with that incident?
Oh, of course, yes, I do. But to me, coming from metropolitan state, which is Adamawa, we have I think we have the largest ethnicities collection in the whole Nigeria, and the religious demography is 50-50 here. So I think I'm quite in a position to understand such a delicate situation. But to me personally, I think I will say here in the north it's bit calm, because apart from, I must commend the governor for his visit and trying to calm nerves here. And I was, some years back, like 10-15 years ago, something happened like that of this nature. It happens in the south, you will see a reprisal here in the north. So thank God it does not happen like that. It's calm, and it's very unfortunate that some people in some places are trying to, flame the situation up and try to take advantage of it in one way or the other. But generally in the north, it's calm regard to this, and I hope the elders will kind of calm people. I was trying to see from the Islamic clerics if there is going to be any implementation of the situation, but not yet. So I hope it will go on like this. And then I really don't know much of what really caused such drastic, very cruel thing to happen. But one thing, Edo also has a long relationship with the Northerners. They have it's a very huge base for the Northerners there because of the kola nut business they used to do in Auchi and some other parts. I don't know actually what caused such antagonizing situation to develop to that stage, but I hope things will turn out to be calm. That is our prayer. Generally speaking, the security of the whole country is in a mess, and as like the previous speaker or the one that spoke before the previous ones stresses out that the government need to be blamed, and or the government should do more on this on securing the lives and property of people. I think that our focus or main concern or our scrutiny should be pointed or towards the government to take more responsibility to make sure things like that don't happen. But so far in the north, it's kind of a calm, and I hope it will continue being like that. And it's very unfortunate if any other person from any other part of the country will try to take advantage of this or rally people to do something that it's uncalled for along those lines. So this is what I have to say.
All right. So to Tanko Yakasai, it speaks the language of what frustrates a lot of people, that there's a golden opportunity now for Southeast to mainstream into politics and have an equal chance at governing that country. But the way it's being politics, especially with the brand that Obi is presenting, it makes it very difficult for people to warm to them. So, in not to find a language, I suspect that Tanko Yakasai might be saying the Nzobu brand of politics is not one that wins in Nigeria. What's your take of the elder statesman's submission?
Well, I think if you're not from the north, you might not really understand or trying to capture the real points that he's trying to make. I think on this very platform, I for more than once, point this out that the Igbos has more presence, they have more signature in across the whole north than the Yorubas. I think we discussed something like that. And what you see, to me, it's not about numbers or the population or integration when it comes to politics in the north. It's about trust, The Yorubas in their own wisdom, they kind of know how to put the screw on the north. You understand? And they find a way to work together to establish that trust. Yeah, what he said to some extent is right in the sense that when it comes to the northern the Igbos population in the north, you cannot compare it to the Yorubas. But what the Igbos failed to understand is they failed to build that bridge that the Yorubas were able to do times and times again. You understand? Today it's very easy for a common or a layman in the north, to an ordinary person in the north to trust a Yoruba man than an Igbo man. So to me, I think it's a cultural mindset, The Yorubas were able to understand how our minds work here in the north, and we can, on a political spectrum, we find it very convenient or very easy for us to do political business with them. You understand? Than the Igbos. So it's something like that.
Sorry, Ribadu. Do you think there's also an element that we share a lot of commonalities, both culturally, because there's an established long-standing cultural relationship between the Southwest and the North, and then we also share largely a religious commonality. So do you think that's where the bind comes from?
Well, I don't think it's more of a, yeah, to some point, you know, but it's not just about religion. You understand? It's about how am I going to put this point out to you? Okay, it's just like the way I said, it's cultural. The nature of an Igbo man. Igbo man is too strict politically. You understand? They have the leverage more than the Yorubas, but they fail to understand the psychology to use that leverage, you know, in a sense that they always appear to be domineering, just like the way the old man said. You understand? But a Yoruba man you can do business, even though he's more corny. I think that is why the Yorubas get us all the time. You understand? We always feel at home with the Yorubas, even though we can benefit more from the Igbos. Right now, economically, we benefit more from the Igbos than the Yorubas. You understand? So it's always beat my mind. It's always beat my intelligence how it's like that. Apart from Kwara, you know, Kwara I think is a Yoruba speaking state. Apart from Kwara, we don't have any state that we have more cultural stuff with the Yorubas. And everybody knows in the north, Yoruba religion doesn't bother Yoruba to some extent, because on Sunday you can go to church, on Friday if you like you can go to mosques. So religious wise, we don't take Yoruba man seriously. You understand? Because today he can be Christian, tomorrow he can be Muslim, but you can never find that in an Igbo man. You understand? But so to me, you cannot just say religion, and culturally you are very distinctive, you know. So it's just that for long, maybe it's history, you know, maybe from the founding fathers, it's history. We collaborate more with the Yorubas, you understand? And we find there is this.
Sorry, I'm reading some comments. Read the comment. They say they cannot kiss and bow to you.
No, it's not about bowing.
They're going to teach them. They're not going to understand. They're going to see the tweet nonsense.
No, I think that's the rigidity that you're talking about.
And you want to be
but if you use that word bowing, you know, no region is superior than the others. You understand? The North we doesn't hold monopoly on power, just like any other region in it. It's just a matter of finding a way to synergize together. And believe me, a Yoruba man is 100% more likely to deceive you or betray you than an Igbo man. You understand? So to me, I don't think, sorry to say this, I don't mean any disrespect to an Igbo man. I don't think they are caught in a political cloth that reflects Nigeria that it is today. So maybe eventually the younger ones that are coming up, our own generation, maybe one way or the
sorry, I take exception to that too. Are you saying Yorubas are deceptive?
I did not.
Sorry?
No. It's because we are smart and you feel vulnerable.
No, you misunderstand it, Pato, let me tell you what he meant.
Sorry, I don't understand what he said.
He said,
being smart is different from being deceptive now.
Yorubas are, no, that's not what. The way you should see it is, look at Tinubu for instance, right? Look at Tinubu just for instance. Tinubu, I think the right language is to conquer. Yoruba man, right? They will not show you their hands until they get the power. But they will not. Tinubu will probably be prostrating to you, try to lay down and everything, do everything. Today, if he sees Buhari, regardless of the indiscretion or probably whatever people think that Buhari did to him during the election, you will still see the countenance, you will see him bowing down, even being the president and everything, right? But when you understand how to walk this rope politically, right, you always get what you want. But yes, if you say deceptive, it's not deceptive, but they know how to go through the murky waters to shape the ideas, and then it's not easy to convince the North, if you've actually been to the North, to convince them to see you the way you want them to see you, and then to trust you with power, right? Look at Obi, for instance. Obi is fledging back and forth. It's like yo-yo, right? So they can see that this guy is just a mugu, is pretending. You know, no
and what? One thing.
Hold on. So sorry, Roberto. Let me add an appendage to what Enigmatic said, and then you pick it up. If they're not buying into this sort of thing, that will be going around eating with their Majeri children and all this, are they buying into that? Oh, sorry.
No, nobody is buying into that, because we can see through him. You understand? Okay, let me give you one example. Now look at the mess Akpabio. I'll come to Natasha issue later in drone. I'm just trying to draw parallel analysis here. Look at how Akpabio is making mess of the Senate. You understand? And believe me, I don't think this guy is going to live up to next round of election. Unless if the presidency will go extra mile to have his back. Do you think if he's a Yoruba man that is in that seat, some scandal? This is not the first scandal he's having. You remember the last time when he was saying we send something to your account to go and do that? You understand? Leadership, power need power. You have to put your iron hand in a velvet glove. Power doesn't need Hebrews. You understand? A Yoruba man doesn't allow Hebrewsness to get over his head, no matter how wealthy he is, no matter how powerful he is. Same things go to the North. You understand? But Igbo man has that overconfidence. And that overconfidence is his undoing. That is my personal assessment. I may be wrong, okay? So what I'm trying to say is, to some extent, I have soft spot for Igbo guys. I like them a lot. I have a lot of friends in them. But to some extent, a Yoruba man is he's very good in power management than even the North, than even a Northerner. You understand? That this is our ultimate ambition, power, right? Not even money. So you see had it been, look at the time it took Tinubu. He betted and waited and calculated, and projected. He did all that metrics of power analysis before at the end he said, okay, now it's just do or die. Had it been Peter Obi decided to go with Atiku, it would have been different. But he felt, last time I ran as a running mate, I feel now I'm popular enough. I have a lot of biking. I have this, I have that. The guy, he bolted out instead of him to remain loyal. Loyalty matters. A Yoruba man can be loyal to you even if he is working against you. He will be loyal to you to the stage that he know that, now his 2 feet is on the ground. You understand? So a Fulani Hausa man or a Fulani man or a Northern in generally, we are suckers for power, When you do that, that's all. Even when you're putting a dagger through our stomach, it's fine. So let me tell you from the Northern perspective here, one man and the gentleman of the platform. Today, no president has ever dismantled the North like the way this man did. And it's very, very unfortunate for us here that we allow something like that. No man has disintegrated and then dismantle our bloc like the way Tinubu did. I cannot even believe that he has the ability to do something like that. Today, there is no one voice in the North. I think one guy made an assessment here. He says the North is not as longer united as the way it was. Yeah, that is a fact. Today, there is no one single statement in the North that will gather people and they will listen to him. Because what? Through that wealth, through that money he spent, he was able to naked them to the extent that the whole North will know. Look at Erufai. Erufai today has no standing in the North. Same thing goes with Konkoso. He has no standing in the North. Nobody respects these figures. And Atiku has become a cost. So tell me today, today, if you said you bring one presidential uh, a strong punch within the northern rank to contest, who is that going to be? So did you see the work of a Yoruba man? So I really salute your political Machiavellianism on that.
Obi will be a candidate now for the North.
All right. Let me take you to. I want to take you to just two more phases. Big apologies to people waiting. I'll take us to Natasha. Before you actually take us to Natasha Akpoti, you mentioned it already, but take us to the politics of El Rufai, which is is quite obviously the politics of a man's pond. And this obviously is a carry through from the rejection at the ministerial screening. So I think that's pretty much obvious. But does it? I think you probably already answered my question. Is it getting any traction? Is there any backing for its move? Do you think it's speaking to the voice of Buhari? Because we see Abubakar Malami following him, following El Rufai, and Abubakar Malami is the money man for the Buhari narrative. So what are you making of how El Rufai is posturing, and do you think anything will come out of it?
One thing, if you know me, is that I am always candid, okay? I don't shy away from telling the truth, even though if it's, wrongfully or in bad light represent the North, simply because I'm a Northerner, I always call spade a spade. Okay, let me give you this analysis, okay? And along the line, I'll answer your questions. See, generally, not just in the North, the whole country, we know that we have a very serious issue when it comes to insecurity, okay? Forget about El Rufai, forget about all those. It's just like a mouse that tested diluted water with honey. He will always come back no matter how the trap is. Those guys, they tested power and they cannot believe now they are out of that corridor, and they are going to hold on to any opportunity that presents itself. What they are doing is absolutely shameless. You know, if you're following, there is one guy, what's his name? Is this TikTok Hausa guy from China. You know, he's just exposing them, and it's very unfortunate. If I were them, I'll just run away and hide my head in the sand. So they are not getting any attraction. They are just a laughing stock in the whole North. You understand? The only person that is going to be serious now maybe is Al Mustafa. You understand? Because yet we did not see his true color too. Okay, keep that aside. What I'm trying to say here is this, okay? When Tinubu came into power, this guy, he's brutally straightforward. All that he sets out to, what he said he will do, he did them. Despite hurting the economy more than, Buhari killed us halfway, you know, and he's trying to finish us now. But that is not my argument here, or that is not my we try to readapt. After all, human being can adapt to any situation. But there is two aspects that this current administration is getting it wrong. You understand? One is security. And the mistake he makes on that security aspect is by appointing very, very poor people with very poor track record in governance alone, you understand, and then affecting them into ministries of defense. People with zero, experience. They have no. In fact, they are hundreds of miles away from anything defense, security, and rest. So that is the first mistake he's making, and it's reflecting very badly on this administration because nothing is improving here. You understand? Despite here in the North, we are trying as much as we could to adapt to the current situation. In fact, the whole country, not just the North, the whole country, we know what we are going through. You understand? And then apart from that, you know, there is something that people are not seeing or are not taking it seriously. You see, this concept of seriously sidelining the VP is a very dangerous move he's doing. You understand? Because believe me, if not the whole North, nobody was trying to sell Tinubu to the North like the way the VP did. You understand? And there was no, because even in the North, we, the Hausa Fulanis, are always scared of the Kanuris because we know what they are and we know what they are capable. In fact, our ancestors, right from Damfodio to Sarana of Sokoto, he said, they have this saying, do not give these people power and don't allow them to defect to your opponents. You understand? Referring to the Kanuris. So I think Tinubu, if care is not taken, sidelining this VP, even though the guy is not as ambitious as Hausa and Fulani to say, but he's loyal. But what that guy is capable of, believe me, 10 Hausa Fulanis cannot do. So my fear, because I buy into some policies of Tinubu, quite sure you understand, even though I criticize some, I buy some because I know in maybe 10, 15 years to come, we will begin to see what that means positively. But sidelining the VP, if he allow the allegiance of the VP to shift to other side, he's in trouble. That is one. Then secondly, the way he's allowing Wike to run wild, doing what he wants, it's damaging his image on a very serious note. Plus, the mess the Senate president is the way the handling of the Senate, you know. So the governments need to put its ear on the ground, you know. There is some certain friction, and this thing, it's kind of putting people together, mobilizing people against that and this administration. So, but only times will tell. And most of the governors that supported him are on their way out now. This is their last tenure. So this is my submission. I don't know if you guys understand me.
All right. Give us a little flavor on Natasha Ribadu, and then we're going to Fatai. Just a little feel of what you are making of that situation.
Well, it's unfortunate now. You know, you see, they are all guilty when you ask me, you know. They have all been playing. Maybe she tried to play him, he tried to play her, but it's very unsenatorial as a Rufai that what they're calling that journalist, Rufai, as he said. It's very unsenatorial to being the principal officer of the Senate, you know. How can you allow something to go this far? All this, can't you hire a prostitute or woman from India or Ethiopia that they have the most beautiful? If he is crazy for blonde, there is women available as rich as he is. But you go for
I agree with you on that, by the way. The Ethiopians have the most beautiful women. But
yeah, you understand. And you go for a senator colleague of all women of this world, for heaven's sake, and a married woman for that matter. And she's just like the other guy was saying, her genetic combination will definitely make her repulsive, impulsive, and arrogant and stubborn for that matter. And she was weak too. She's quite guilty, you know, because she's trying to use him to get what she wants, maybe. Look at the money they have been sending. They have been, you know, look at all these things. It's quite disgraceful, even on the international stage, you know. Imagine if they say House of Commons or maybe in the United States Congress, or, you know, this is our Senate president, the number 3 man of the country, going through all these disgraceful interviews and what have you, you know. It's quite unfortunate for our democracy, for our name and prestige in the international stage. And it's making the government look weak. You understand? If I were Tinubu, I will cut him loose. You know, because at this very juncture, Tinubu need to expect God. He need to crucify somebody to clean his name. You understand? Because even what Wike did on Fabra, it's not going to solve anything. It's not going to give him any vote if he removed that governor from there. It really pains me what he did to that governor. You know, the president shouldn't allow him that latitude. Plus, look at what this. If I were the governor, if I were the president, I would surely cut Akpabio loose. In fact, I will even give the senator some money to get rid of him and put somebody there.
Ribadu, just a second. I think this Akpabio thing, right? There's if there's a reason why, because if you look at, I know Akpabio has its issues, of course, obviously, but we can't really say it's all about politics. First of all, there has never been there's a block in the Senate that they've never been happy from day one that Akpabio became the Senate president, right? Yari and his group, they've been doing everything possible to malign Akpabio, and this is what we are talking about, the South. Each time that we have a Senate president from the southern part of the country, there's always one thing or the other that the North will not want that Senate. They always want problem. We had almost the worst president of the Senate in what's his name? That fat man. That what's his name?
That just guy.
Ahmed Lawan.
Oh, Ahmed.
Right?
Yeah.
He was probably the worst Senate president so far. But because he's a northerner, they will always shield him and they will always shield them. When the Southeast had the Senate presidency, we had like almost 4 or 3 of them. If not for the fact that they've been trying to shield Akpabio, they would have kicked Akpabio out, and either the DSP would have been the Senate president or Yari's group would have presented the Senate president. So there's no way that will open our eyes and the Senate presidency will go back to the North, because that's just the game plan that they actually wanted all this while.
No, but that is, but sorry to cut you, but this is your own opinion, okay? And because you get because you get rid of Akpabio, that does not mean the Senate presidency must come to the North. Let me tell you, one of the best Senate president I respect was Ken Inamani.
Yes,
you understand, right? And we have scoff of them. Even the guy, the late guy that ran.
Let's speak for now. Who will be the Senate president if Akpabio is?
Hold on, enigmatic. It cannot go to the North for reasons of balancing. You have a southwestern president. And, a northeastern vice.
No, but they did it on that
man. Yeah, but Buhari was an anomalous sort of.
This is
you understand.
This is what is happening behind the scene, one man. Yari is still Yari. You know Yari now. Ribadu, right?
Yari Gandhi, you're saying, but
Yari is still scheming as I speak now. He's still scheming to be Senate president.
But that's what politicians do now. They scheme and plot.
See, are you going to? He's there to be number one, right? He's there to nobody. You cannot blame politicians for trying to be achieve the power at their number one seat on their cadre. But what I'm trying to say here is, it's look bad. Even okay, I don't want to debate, but if Ahmed Lawan that you talk of, he never had such scandal apart from his returning to the Senate. You know, the worst thing you can do to a man image is having scandal that has to do with a woman or sexually. You understand? Look at what it did to Bill Gates. He was the most charismatic US president. But look at it. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is, it makes us as Nigerians, all of us, it's unfortunate.
From abroad, yeah. Even our president is a felon. So forget all those.
No, well, we as Nigerians here, we felt, and believe me, it does matters in political calculations. You understand? So what I'm saying, just like it's your own opinion, it's my own opinion also. If I were the president, I'm going to cut that guy loose and then look for somebody. You understand?
I won't.
All right. Thank you, Ribadu. And Ribadu, stay with us for as long as you can. And really make it a point of effort to join us just as often as you can. People like when they hear from you, because you speak with moderation, you speak with balance, and you speak with high intelligence, and that is really what the audience here digests the most. So that's the elegant Ribadu. Ribadu is anyway. I won't tell them who you are, but if they know who you are, they will be impressed. But I know who you are. Yeah. So that's Ribadu. Yeah.
Wama, can I say something to Ribadu?
You can say it, but
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Fatai has been waiting too long, but
10 seconds.
All right, carry on.
Ribadu. So
yes,
I heard your analysis, very apt actually. But here is it, right? We need to call it what it is. The issue between the Northerners and the Igbo is actually an issue of trust, originating from the the so-called Igbo coup, nothing more. That's the genesis, and that is what is still trading. So I don't know if you agree with that point, but if you don't agree, it's okay. Thank you.
No, it's fine. Sorry, before Fatah come, let me answer him for just 5 seconds. See, I think this is what I said. I said it's all about trust, right? When I started talking. See, today, if you make me president, believe me, I'm going to get my VP from the Igbos, not Yorubas, because the Yorubas can pull me any moment, which I know, you understand? So what I'm saying is, but it's high time we should let go, you understand? It's not even our fathers that fought that war. It's only few of them that are remaining that are alive. Most of them are our grandparents, and even those that fight, they are now in their 80s or 90s. I mean, for how long? These people, they are Nigerians too. You understand? They are Nigerians too. It's not like we have the monopoly on power, we and the Yorubas. They are what these people are contributing. Maybe even the North and the Yorubas are not contributing it economically. You understand? These people, they build factories, industries. They are quite industrious. They are rich. Look at how they turn Abuja into. Which Northern and which Yoruba man has the money to do that? You understand? So at least let us give them, for God's sake, let us give them the chance. If they did so, if they mess it up, then we can hold them accountable. Understand? So this is my view, with all my heart.
I completely agree with you, but however, the Igbo politicians, they also help the system. Yoruba man is more strategic with politics, to be honest.
He's very cunning.
I don't know how you call it. And you say one man is cunning? So
no, they are calling. Can't you see? Sorry, Fatah, I beg you. Listen, can't you see when Tinubu was campaigning? He was shaking, having syndrome. There was one video that I saw. They were. It looked like he urinated his trousers on the bus. Everybody was saying, "Oh, this guy is going to die. VP is going to take over." This is how he deceived us in the North. Let me tell you the truth. You understand? Plus, he pumped money to this Islam. He pumped. He pumped. Let me make this point. Fatah is going to come in. Sorry. He pumped money to these Islamic bloody clerics. You understand? God forgive me if they hear me, they will crucify me. But I don't give a shit. You understand? He gave all these malams a lot of millions, 15, 20 million, all these sheikhs. They start calling Muslim ticket is a win for Muslim. What the hell is a Muslim ticket? Look at it now. We are all suffering. So, Yoruba man, you should be very careful. They are a very dangerous species in Nigerian land, let me tell you. So, Fatah, please, let me give you space.
All right, brilliant. So, all right, thank you. We'll look very quickly to you, AY. Stay with us. Fatah, apologies for the wait, a real gentleman. But Fatah, of course, as you can see from the name, an unabashed supporter of Natasha Akpoti. He will not have ill spoken about her, Fatah, the Jagaban of Nova Scotia.
Hello, Wama, how you doing?
Thank you for yielding the spot to Ribadu. So I was just keen to hear from him. But yeah, Fatah.